On today's Glory Days show, Deflategate is back in the news as the NFL and the rest of the country learned what transpired before the start of the AFC Championship game between the New England Patriots and the Indianapolis Colts.
And the final report from Ted Wells's contained over 240 pages of testimony, scientific facts, damning text messages, and enough circumstantial evidence to put a hurt on Tom Brady and the New England Patriots organization for a long time.
We'll highlight the juicy parts of the report, plus get opinions from a real NFL football player, Rocky Cleaver, and hear from the other side of the fence, a real New England Patriots fan, our good friend Pete Torgerson.
Hide the kiddies. It's wall-to-wall talk about balls as the best hour of your sports week is coming up on Glory Days right now.
GameReview.com.
Hello again, everybody. Today is Saturday, May 9th, 2015, and you are watching The Glory Days Show with Bruce and Disco. My name is Paul Discofani. This is my good buddy Bruce Oler, and Kyle Melnick and Bonnie Schultz are behind the glass today, and you are joining us on the Enravio TV network, broadcasting from Studio C right here in the beautiful Mastic, Long Island, in the great state of New York. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Been deflating anything lately?
Not lately. Not lately.
You know, it's, again, it was one of those sports weeks where there was so many things going on.
Yeah.
You know, there was that fight over the weekend, which was just a bore.
Yeah, I already said that I wasn't a big boxing fan, so I didn't see it, so I really can't comment on it all that much.
You know, and then it turns out that one of the guys, Pacquiao, has a bad shoulder.
Right.
And he knew it ahead of time, and
yeah,
it's just a disaster. There was the fight, the Mets and the Yankees.
The Rangers.
The Rangers, although we will be talking about the Rangers later on. But then this big story broke.
Yeah, I guess the NFL finally, I guess they concluded their study.
Right, the
independent study by
Ted Wells.
Ted Wells. I knew his last name was Wells, wasn't sure what his first name was.
And you know what, when the story broke on Wednesday, I read almost the entire
testimony?
240 page
report.
Yeah.
240 pages.
It was really something else.
Really?
Mm-hmm. You know,
so should we? I consider you an expert now on this study. Oh, geez.
We're gonna.
You look well prepared.
We are going to read the entire 248-page report.
How long is this show?
We're not going to read you the whole thing, don't we?
Thank goodness.
We're already having people changing to the weekly show as we go. But anyway, back in January, the New England Patriots had their way with the Indianapolis Colts in the AFC Championship game, beating them 45-7. The following day, it was revealed that a complaint by the Colts at halftime. So the NFL inspected all the balls and found that 11 of the 12 balls used by the Patriots measured below the PSI limit of 12.5. You know what I don't have?
What?
I don't have my bell.
Oh, yeah.
For every time we mention balls.
I know, we do. I think, and when we did this, we talked about this when it broke back in January, I guess.
Did we?
I think we had a football with us.
We did. Oh, look, there's the bell.
There we go. Oh, nice. Here we go.
So every time we say
that's a crack staff we have here, man.
We're going to hit the bell because we are juveniles.
Well, you know, as I was driving over here, and you know, you said all it's going to be is talking about balls. So I'm going to think is maybe we're Beavis and Butthead. You know? Got to give a snicker every once in a while. Balls. She said balls. You know. Anyway, we digress.
Okay. All the talk out of New England was that the entire episode was a joke. Okay, Bill Belichick and Tom Brady held press conferences to denounce the reports, and it became more of a joke in the week leading up to the Super Bowl. But Commissioner Roger Goodell hired New York lawyer Ted Wells to do a complete investigation into the allegations. And on Wednesday, a 243-page bomb was dropped on the league, as Wells' report indicated that the Patriots did indeed have a hand in deflating those footballs, and that Tom Brady most likely knew about it and possibly orchestrated it.
Okay.
Okay, so the report began with the most ominous declaration, okay? You're sitting there, this is the first thing you read on the report, right?
This is what they call the executive summary.
The executive summary, that's exactly right. Okay. It says, for reasons described in this report, and after a comprehensive investigation, we have concluded that in connection with the AFC Championship, it is more probable than not that the New England Patriots personnel participated in violations of the playing rules and were involved in a deliberate effort to circumvent the rules. Okay?
Okay.
Right? Then it identifies the culprits.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, the most likely suspects.
In particular, we have concluded that it is more probable than not that Jim McNally, and he's the locker room guy.
Okay.
And John Jastrzemski, he's the assistant equipment
like
manager,
Yastrzemski, huh? Just with a J.
participated in deliberate effort to release air from Patriot game balls after the balls were examined by the referee.
Okay.
Right? Then it dropped the hammer on one of the most high-profile and most successful players in the NFL.
Yeah.
Our good pal, Tom Brady.
Taco pal. Yeah, okay. You get a Christmas card from him? Because I know that I don't. I'm not sure I call him my good pal.
I don't think I'm getting Christmas cards from Tom Brady anymore. Based on the evidence, it is also our view that it is more probable than not that Tom Brady, the quarterback for the Patriots, was at least generally aware of the inappropriate activities of McNally and Jastrzemski involving the release of air from the Patriots game balls.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I think that's very vague, is what I think, man. You know, probable,
Okay.
general. I mean,
Now-
those are weasel words, is what those are, okay?
Now, you would think that.
Well, I would think that. I know that.
Okay.
You know?
And I used to just say, well, you know, it's what you thought. But when you get into the meat of this report, the things that happened and the things that he possibly could have known about.
Yeah. And, you know, it's really very circumstantial, though.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
You read what Robert Kraft had to say.
Okay, of course, the Patriots owner and best buddies of Commissioner Goodell, Robert Kraft, immediately issued a statement that read in part, to say we are disappointed in its findings, which did not include any incontrovertible or hard evidence of deliberate deflation of footballs at the AFC Championship game, would be a gross understatement. Mm-hmm. That's right.
No, it's exactly right.
And it's what you would expect him to say.
Exactly.
Okay. Then he went on to say, while I respect the independent process of the investigation, the time, effort, and resources expended to reach this conclusion are incomprehensible to me. That's a cool word. I like that word, incomprehensible.
It's incomprehensible they took my driver's license.
That's right. What was that? That was, what was that? That was a great movie, man. The In-Laws.
The In-Laws.
The In-Laws.
It's
with Peter Falk.
incomprehensible.
Peter Falk says that, right?
You know what, Mr. B, though? The report is quite conclusive. Okay?
It is. Okay.
Would it hold up in a course of law? Probably not.
Of course it would.
But this is not a court of law.
Well,
It's the court
I mean,
of public opinion.
they're also not, you know, even the words they're using. Well, I'm trying to think. More probable than not.
Okay? Yeah.
Not beyond a reasonable doubt. More probable than not. You know, again, weasel words is what they are. You know.
You know what? The thing came down to the fact that the balls were in the possession of the referees.
Yep.
They measured them all. They put them in a bag and they leave them in the officials' locker room. In the report, the referees report that when they were ready to, they had gone out of the locker room. When they came back, they were gone.
They were gone.
They were gone. They didn't know where they were. Okay? So, and the referee, the head referee, Wes Anderson, said in all his 19 years, he's never not known where the game balls were, ever.
Okay.
So they went out onto the field.
Yeah.
They weren't there.
Uh-huh.
They didn't know what to do, so they sent a guy back into the locker room to get the backup balls.
What guy?
the NFL security guy. They sent him back into the locker room to get the backup balls.
They have backup balls?
Yeah, well, they have two sets of balls, the game balls and the backup
Sets of
balls.
Okay.
And so all of a sudden, out comes McNally with the balls.
Okay.
3 minutes before the game is supposed to start.
3 minutes before the game's supposed to start.
The referee said in all his
What are you
career,
doing with the balls?
he's never cursed like he was cursing in the locker room trying to find the balls. Now, the Patriots and McNally said, oh, I do that all the time. I always take the balls out without the referee. The referee says protocol is you don't leave the room without the game balls.
Yeah.
Now, the NFL assigns an NFL security guy to every stadium. Okay, the guy that they assigned to the Patriots Stadium has been doing it for 15 years.
Okay.
He says, in my 15 years here, he says, I'm the one who opens the door for this guy to leave because he's carrying 2 bags of balls when he leaves. He says, and we stand outside and we wait for the referee and we walk to the thing together. So they're lying through their teeth. Then he disappears into the bathroom.
So who's lying through their teeth?
The Patriot organization, because they gave them witnesses that said, oh no, he does it all the time. Meanwhile, the officials and the NFL security guy says, no, that's not how it works, and it's never happened that way before this game. Okay?
Okay.
Then he went into the bathroom. The security tape shows him going into the bathroom and coming out. So they said to him, what were you doing in the bathroom? So he says, this is his testimony, right? He says, I put the balls down to my left, and I used the urinal on the right. And the NFL says, well, there is no urinal in that bathroom.
Really?
There's no urinal in that bathroom. It's a sit-down thing with a stall.
So he's getting, okay.
You know, so the evidence was building and building and building. But the most damning thing probably are the text messages.
Yeah.
Okay? I wanted to read a couple of text messages from the two guys, which is McNally and Jastrzemski. Okay? They really showed that McNally had this deep-seated hatred for Tom Brady, okay? Because apparently, based on what we're reading in the text, this has been going on for a while.
Well, yeah, okay. I kind of got that impression with some of the reading that I did on this.
I think he felt that he should get a little something.
Yeah, sure.
Right? Okay, so the report indicated that following a win over the Jets in October, Brady complained angrily about the inflation level of the game balls.
Yeah.
Right? So McNally and Jastrzemski had this exchange. McNally says, Tom sucks. I'm going to make the next ball an effing watermelon. And Jastrzemski says, talk to him last night. He actually brought you up and said you must have a lot of stress trying to get them done. Right? Okay. Now, did he mention Tom Brady? No. Of course, he didn't write it down, but the other guys said Tom sucks.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. The next week, Chicago Bears were on the schedule.
Okay.
And they were texting back and forth again. And it's the first time that they mentioned using a needle. Okay? Jastrzemski says, can't wait to give you your needle this week. And the other guy, of course, who must be a Tom Brady fan, says, F Tom, make sure the needle is attached to the pump is attached to the needle. Effing watermelon's coming, right? And Jastrzemski says, so angry. And McNally says, the only thing deflating Sunday is his passing rating, right? So the next day, this is where it gets interesting, it turns into a payola conversation.
It's always about the money.
Right? Okay. Jastrzemski says, I have a big needle for you this week. McNally says, better be surrounded by cash and new kicks. I think new kicks is a sneaker.
Oh, yeah?
Okay. Or it's Rugby Sunday. And again, he says, F Tom. And Jastrzemski says, maybe you will have some nice size 11s in your locker.
Yeah, or up your behind.
And then McNally said, Tom must really be working your balls hard this week.
Yeah. Okay. Size 11.
So the text continues, and they start talking about sizes.
Yeah.
So Jastrzemski says size 11, 2 or 3X. And McNally says, Tom must really be on you. And he says 11 or 11 and a half, 2X unless it's tight fitting.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, yeah, that must be his jersey. He wants a jersey, right?
They had a picture of him in the post. This guy is a little rotund. Okay.
Oh, is he? Okay. He says, figured you should get something since he gives you nothing. Right? Okay. So then everything comes to fruition just before the Patriots-Raven playoff game. McNally and Jastrzemski discuss his big autograph day and the items he was supposed to receive from Brady. Okay? So McNally says, remember to put a couple of sweet pig skins ready for Tom to sign. Nice. Throw some kicks in and make it real special. So lo and behold, immediately prior to the Patriots-Raven playoff game, McNally meets with Brady and Jastrzemski in the equipment room and receives 2 autographed footballs by Brady. Right? And
now, were they properly inflated, those footballs?
I don't know.
Come on, man.
But during the investigation, they discovered this chilling conversation before the season even started. McNally is referring to himself as the deflator. Okay. To me, this is the dagger, and he says, so he made a veiled threat about possibly going to ESPN.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He says, McNally says, "You working?" Jastrzemski says, "Yeah." He goes, "Nice dude. Jimmy needs some kicks. Let's make a deal. Come on, help the deflator." Right? Chill, dude. I'm just effing with you. I'm not going to ESPN yet.
Yeah. Wow.
So, and one of the other things is, and we're gonna get to a break real fast. So we'll bring in Rocky Cleaver to talk about this. But the thing that gets me is that during their investigation, Brady said, "I don't even know who McNally is. I never met him. I don't know anything about him." Not only did he give him the autograph football and the shirt, the next day after the Baltimore game, he's on the phone with him for an hour.
Wrong number.
You know what, Tom? You're in deep doo-doo.
Well, I'll tell you, I know we'll talk to Rocky and we'll talk to Pete. I think the real question here is, what is the NFL going to do about this?
Yeah. Well,
it's really up to Roger Goodell. What is he going to do? And all eyes are going to be on him and what he decides to do. Yeah. And there's very interesting, a lot of stuff, it's hearsay again. It wasn't in a court of law or anything like that.
Right.
Even the words they're using, as I say, they're kind of wiggle words, not more probable than not.
All right, you know what?
It'll be interesting to hear what
I want to know what the pros think.
Yeah.
All right, so right after the short break, we will talk to a professional football player. And we'll get his opinion on Rocky Cleaver beyond the hotline. And later on, we'll hear from New Englander Pete Torgerson and hear his side of the story.
Okay.
All right, we're going to take a 2-minute break. Stay with us. You're watching The Glory Days Show with Bruce and Disco, only on the Enrevio TV network. We're coming right back.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit hansoncarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRavio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRavio.com.
Alrighty, welcome back to the Glory Days Show with Bruce Disco here on the NRavio TV network. We're trying to get our good pal Rocky Cleaver on the phone because we really do, he doesn't believe this is a big deal at all.
Well, and I do remember talking about that, and it's not what the Bulls did, it's not what happened, but I mean it's the whole conspiracy around this thing. I think that's the big thing.
Right, and I think did it help them win the game? I don't know.
That's not the issue here. The issue is, and here's what I think is going to happen. Okay. Roger Goodell is going to have move for immediate induction into the Hall of Fame. Robert Kraft, okay, Tom Brady,
get them in before the
and Bill Belichick. No, not because of that. Because they helped expose a flaw in the operating procedures of the NFL when it comes to handling the balls. Okay, that's the way this guy will spin this thing. I mean. But the real problem here is that, he's come down hard on a bunch of other franchises and players and coaches for things that, seemingly, it wasn't cheating, which is what this is.
Well, they just fined the Atlanta Falcons hundreds of thousands of dollars for pumping in crowd noise when the opposing team had the ball. Okay, and look at what happened we were talking about this last night in New Orleans with Bounty Gate.
That's right.
The players got suspended for a whole year. The coach, who they said the coach had zero involvement in it, but still suspended him for a whole year because you're the head coach.
That's right.
Everything that happens is ultimately your responsibility. So there's already been a precedent set.
Yeah, he's...
How do you not suspend guys?
He has no choice, I don't think.
What do you think would be a penalty? What do you think would be a fair penalty?
Well, I think if you look at basically what has happened, he suspended Jonathan Vilma for a whole year because of Bounty Gate. He suspended Sean Payton a whole year for what happened there. You look more recently, Ray Rice. Okay, he's out indefinitely, right?
Well, they reinstated him.
All right, but he was out for a year.
He missed the whole year.
Adrian Peterson, the same thing. So Roger Goodell. I guess that's why this guy gets paid the big bucks. But I think he's got to go for a year. I think is what he's got to do.
Do you think that again, if this happened to Geno Smith or one of the lesser-known quarterbacks, do you think it's as big a deal as it is for Brady? Or do guys like Brady, with the steroids issue, Barry Bonds, A-Rod, Roger Clemens, they got all the publicity, they got everything thrown at them, but even the lowest level guy gets his 50-game suspension.
That's right. It should not have anything to do with your marquee value or the fact that you're a superstar.
Right. Yeah. So I think Brady has to go for at least 4 or 5 games. At least. That's my opinion. I think he should go for the whole season, but I don't know if that's the inner hatred that I have for.
Well,
you know what it is? It's the smugness of the whole thing. The way they got on those press conferences, and they're like, "Bro, what are you talking about?" Remember, he said something about it's not like ISIS. We're not killing people, right? Remember, he said something like that.
He was also pretty nervous in that press conference. And I got to go back and take a look at that because I do remember, when the story broke, he seemed to be, a guy that's very cool and calm and under pressure. Wasn't that cool and calm. You know, and then he made a little joke about it. Even I guess he had a speaking appearance, I think on Thursday night. Jim Gray was talking to him.
Yes.
You know, and they were asking, well, what do you think about the report? And he said, to tell you the truth, I haven't had a time to digest it yet. And then they said, well, what do you mean? You know, it's not that long of a report. Or whatever. How long did it take you to read it?
About 20. Let me tell you something. This is what I don't understand. I didn't even read it.
Right.
Okay.
And then he made a joke
Tell
about
them
it because it wasn't X's and O's, is what he said. Well, that's a pretty good
You know what
line.
I don't understand? Your father comes out and says all the nasty things his father said about how it's all a conspiracy.
It's a witch hunt or whatever.
It's a witch hunt, right?
Yeah.
Your agent comes out and your agent basically says that the league that you work for, the NFL, is conspiring to get you, and that they just want to fix games and give them the outcome that they want. This is his agent that said that, okay? And you're telling me that your agent didn't pick up the phone the day that report came out and said, Tommy, you better read this, you know? Because I want to, we're talking about just Brady's involvement, okay? Besides the fact that he was texting these guys back and forth, he refused to turn over his phone, okay, because he didn't have to. He has his own personal phone. He doesn't have a phone that is
I think
issued
you
by
vote
the
for
league.
Hillary Clinton. Is what I think. Okay.
You know, but again, we talked about this back in January.
Yeah.
Okay. And the thing says, we believe it is unlikely that an equipment assistant and a locker room attendant would deflate game balls without Brady's knowledge and approval.
Well, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
How
I mean,
ridiculous is that?
Yeah.
These guys, they think that we're idiots. That's what gets me, is that you're insulting my intelligence as a human being, that you would get up there and now, granted, you are not going to say, oh yeah, I told them to deflate the balls. I understand you're not going to say that. But
well, what would you say? I mean, you know, right now they're in a situation where, you know, I mean, if they tell the truth, they come off looking bad. And if they keep on lying,
you know what
they
you say?
continue to look bad.
Say,
you know?
listen, there's no evidence that he did anything with these balls. I said, do I talk to him about how I want the balls of field? Of course we do. We talk about him. We talk about it all the time.
Right.
You know, you don't say, I don't even know who he is. I never talk about, I don't care about the thing. But that's what he was saying.
Yeah, well, he was being, here's a word, okay? This is a lawyer word, okay? Disingenuous. Okay?
That's a good word.
He was less than genuine, okay? He was disingenuous.
By the way, do you know what NFL player okay, was personally involved in the 2006 rule change that allowed the visiting team to bring their own footballs to a game?
Which NFL football player? It would probably be Tom Brady and Peyton Manning.
Tom Brady.
Okay.
He said that he was the one who said it's not fair that as the visiting quarterback, we have to play with the balls that are inflated to the specifications of the home team quarterback.
All right.
So, I don't know.
So I mean, again, he recognized, I guess, a potential way to get the competitive advantage, okay? Right. And he exploited a flaw in the chain of custody in the NFL. And he should be in the Hall of Fame for that, okay? Not because he won 5 Super Bowls, but because he did that, okay? He's diabolical and disingenuous at the same time, okay?
Oh, boy. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. It's just so circumstantial. But you know what? Let's find out. Maybe we could talk to someone who really does know.
Okay.
Or at least he's going to have a completely opposite opinion.
Okay, yeah.
All right. We're going to take a break, and we'll hear from New England's own Pete Torgerson and get some comments and reaction from a completely different perspective.
The last time we talked to him about this, when it broke,
he was angry.
He was.
All righty, you're watching the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco, only on the Radio TV network. We're coming right back.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRavio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRavio.com.
Transmission of lice occurs from being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Like catching a cold or a flu.
You have guaranteed peace of mind in every bottle of Got Lice because all of our products are completely natural,
And organic.
but strong enough to cover all your lice removal needs while being safe and effective. Our professional technicians are specially trained with our exclusive proven technique to successfully comb out head lice. We come right to your home at your convenience.
Whenever you want us.
We bring everything needed to perform a successful and complete comb out while eliminating your head lice, and we leave you with our exclusive complimentary products to use for the next 10 days following our treatment.
For free.
Our technicians also check all family members who have been exposed to lice. Please visit us on our website today at gotlice.co or feel free to call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 646-257-0121.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit hansoncarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered.
Hey, this is Chris West Jake, and if InRavio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
InRavio.com.
They're doing the wall. Okay.
Welcome back to the Glory Days show with Bruce and Disco here on the InRavio TV network. Back in January, our next guest had nothing but contempt for the allegations coming out of the initial Deflategate discussions and poo-pooed the thought that his beloved Patriots could be accused of cheating. Wonder what's going on in his mind right now. Let's find out. Please welcome our good friend, Pete Torgerson.
Pete, you there?
Gentlemen, what's going on?
Oh,
Listen,
you don't
this
sound as
doesn't-
charged up as last time we talked to you
Let
about
me
this
tell you
subject, my
something.
friend.
It's a good thing we're not sitting in a bar having a beer because I'd be over the table at you two.
Why?
Listen, sir, it's just the facts. That's all we're reading is just the facts. You know what's funny? Pete? I went back last night or night before last, and I watched the replay of the show that we did in January, and you were angry, my friend. You were very
I
angry.
would have liked to have known what your blood pressure was, man. I think it was
still
popping.
worked up. Well, here's the deal. Here's the problem. See, I've had a binky for the last 10 years. My Tom Brady, all right? So
Right.
it's like, talking about your wife or your mother or something. That's my guy. That's my Tom Brady. He leads the life that I wish I lived, being the quarterback, go home to Giselle.
Uh-huh.
He's my guy. And everybody's jumping on him. And you guys can't relate to this. Oh, what's your quarterback's name? Jeez. See,
We
you
don't
guys
have
never
a
had
quarterback.
Right. You're making my point here. But all seriousness, this is a mess.
Yeah.
And I think Goodell's handling it terribly. Now he's waiting for public opinion as to what he should do, whether he should suspend him, slap him on the wrist. He's handling this terribly. He should get fired, not because of this, because of the way he handled everything else.
I agree.
You know what?
The white beaters and everything else. And to compare Air, to white beating and all this other stuff, the guy's out of his mind. He should be fired yesterday. He's terrible. You have this report. Make a decision. Don't wait to see what ESPN says or this one says or that one says. And nothing's going to happen because Les Moonves and Bob Kraft are best buddies, and that's a fact of life.
Hey, listen, the first game of the year is New England and Pittsburgh.
Thursday night.
Right, It's a Thursday night game. You know what? They're not gonna, whatever happens, they're going to find a way to make sure that Brady and Belichick are available for that game.
No question. No question. That's another thing. That the whole NFL, they think we're a bunch of knuckleheads. We don't know what's going on. Here's the deal. Belichick is a controlling maniac.
We know that. And that's definitely understood.
Right. He knows what the pressure of the balls are. He knows what the deal with the balls are. He knows how high the tee is. He knows which way the wind's blowing. These guys are maniacs. Tom Brady, okay? You're not the best at what you do by being a wimp. Oh, yeah, just bring the balls out, Joey. Whatever they are today, that's fine. It's like putting pine tar on your bat, how you tape your hockey stick. He's got the ball in his hand, 60% of the time during the day?
Sure.
He wants it just the way he is. And this guy's a perfectionist. Of course, that's why these guys with their texts back and forth, he broke their balls.
Right, exactly.
Okay? With the Jets game, the balls were no good. Work on it. And these are his guys. He works closely with these guys. But it's just to think that we don't know what's going on and everything is naive. Shame on them, and shame on Brady too for trying to push it off like nothing. These guys are the best at what they do. They're like the president of Google, the president of IBM. They know what they're doing.
Yeah,
So,
and
to come off like Mickey the Dunce, I just don't buy it, and I get a little offended by it.
well, that to me is the thing that we were saying before, that do they just think we're idiots? That's what gets me, is that if he had just come out and said, listen, I don't know what happened to that,
Right.
that these balls were deflated. But of course we talk about the balls. I like them a certain way, and we have this. But to say you don't know who the guy is at all, now this is what makes him look bad. This is what makes him look bad.
I agree. He's a 12-5 guy. Aaron Rodgers is a 16 guy. I'm sure if you go every quarterback in the league, they will tell you, oh, yeah, I like him 13. It's just like a golf tour guy, what kind of ball he uses. Me, I take whatever's for free. The guys on the tour, the guys on the tour, they know what ball might slice a little, doesn't roll in the fairway certain ways. This is their livelihood. They know what they're doing. So
Absolutely.
To come off as Mickey the Dunce is good. That being said, he's still my guy, and I'm standing behind him 100%. If he gets suspended, I'm going to tell everybody not to go to the game. There's going to be 85,000 people in the parking lot. I'm going to stage a boycott on that Thursday night.
Well, that would be interesting. That would really be interesting. But I agree with you, Pete. I mean, it really comes down to is what is Roger Goodell going to do? You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think he's in a no-win situation no matter what he does. If he
the guy,
doesn't suspend him for a year, it's like, oh, he's being too lenient. And if he does suspend him for a year, it's like, oh, that's too harsh. I mean,
Right. This should be his last stand. Screw this one up. And someone was saying that because the way they worded, what was the wording they used? This leads to that. This we believe this. That's all contract. That's all contract talk. And through those rules, you can only fine somebody $25,000.
This sounds like a broken windows type of situation in some respects.
Yeah, no, it's really the way they worded it was, it is more probable than not.
Yeah.
They kept saying that.
And that's the word in the contract that if you screw up and it's more probable than not. They're not saying you're guilty.
That's right.
Because
That's right.
that can go on a 1,000 different ways.
Right, and
But
you know
if
what?
it's more probable than not, it's a $25,000 fine, and I think that's what it's going to be. And
And you know what I think? I think that's the T-shirt. More probable than not.
yeah.
That's the defense now. From now on. I'm pleading more probable than not.
I can remember it was Jimmy Carter, Burt Lance. Okay, he was back in the 70s, and it was something with one of these banking things. And this guy's testimony, okay, to Congress was every question they asked him. You know what his response was? I don't recall. That's what he said. You know. And who's going to debate that? You know.
Right.
I just think so. Petey, what do you think happens here? Does he get suspended? Does he not get suspended? I think, I'll give you my opinion first. I think he gets suspended for 4 games. I think that's
You're out of your
probably
mind.
harsh, but I think he gets suspended for 4 games. There are people who think he's going to get suspended for a whole year.
It's ridiculous. What happened in the second half when they got the ball straightened out?
But I don't think that's the issue.
They won by 38 points that game.
That is not the issue, though.
To me, that's not the issue. The
Pete,
issue
check
is,
your blood pressure again, man. You know?
Here we go. Now we're going to get going here. Here's the other thing. As the great American Lawrence Taylor said, he was set up like a mother on that whole thing because they knew something was going on with the balls going into the game.
Right.
So they got their eye on the balls. The Colts, those rat, whatever you want to call them, they tipped the league off there. There's something going on with the balls. There's this, there's that, there's the other thing. So they're watching the balls. To go before the game, say, hey, Tom, your balls better be at 12.5 or else we got big problems today.
Yeah.
But
That's
if
all
they
you gotta
do that, then they can't catch them.
For a
That-
reason, so that's a sting.
That's, to me, right. That's what we were just talking about before.
And the NFL bungled this whole thing. I mean,
Right.
but the way they went about this thing, and then to have it come out the way it did,
Right.
is even worse. And that's really why I think Goodell should go. I really do. And like you say, this isn't the first time this guy screwed up, man. It really isn't.
Right. So it's just the way they handled the whole thing. They were trying to set the Patriots up, which I don't get. You remember how the Cowboys were in the 70s and 80s?
Yep.
That's the Patriots now.
Yeah.
And a lot of people hate him, and a lot of people, Belichick's cocky. He's this. Brady's the pretty boy. He gets all the calls. It's just nonsense. So that's where we're at.
They don't hate you if you're a loser, man. They hate you if you're a winner. I mean, that's what, I'm
Right,
paraphrasing.
right.
Somebody said that, and it's the
Right.
truth.
What are the Jets' balls pressure?
Who knows? Nobody knows because nobody cares.
No one cares.
Right.
No one cares.
Yep. So, Pete, are you going to hang around? We're going to talk the NHL playoffs. If you got a couple of more minutes with us, okay? We're going to take a little break here, and when we get back, we'll change topics and get to you about the Stanley Cup playoffs, okay?
All right, I'll get my medication.
All right, yeah,
Take a
Pete.
deep breath.
All right, Pete. All right.
Jesus,
Stay
you
with
guys
us. You're
get
watching Glory
Saturday
Day Show
morning,
with
I'm
Bruce and
supposed to be
Disco.
calm.
Only on the Radio TV Network. Coming right back.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit hansoncarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered.
Hey, this is Chris Less Jake, and if InRavio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco here on the InRavio TV network. The Stanley Cup playoffs are in full swing as the final 8 teams are fighting to get into their conference finals. But after a very compelling first round, this second round has been kind of a yawn.
Yeah, I would agree.
Except for last night's Ranger game. We still have our good pal Pete Torgerson on the phone.
Pete,
is
you
this
calm
still
down?
angry, Pete?
It's good. Let's talk hockey.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I got to go visit Aaron in jail today anyway, so don't worry about it.
Is he still in Walpole?
No, he got traded. He went to the maximum place in Shirley.
Ooh. All right, so let's talk about the Ranger game last night.
What a game.
Oh, boy. You know, we were a minute and 41 seconds away from really enjoying ourselves today.
Yep.
If only because, you know, again, with the Islanders out, we don't want to hear it from the Ranger fans again. But, man, what is going on with the Washington Capitals?
Well, when I texted you last night, the Capitals are in the same place the Bruins were, was it 4 or 5 years ago now? They have the hot goalie. The Rangers dominated that game last night, and Holtby, he stood on his head.
Yeah.
He's a great goalie. He's having, you know, he wins the MVP trophy of this playoffs, even if they lose this series. But
Now, Pete,
Rangers.
go ahead.
Rangers aren't getting any goals, and I'm going to point one finger right at Nash. He's got to have 4 or 5 goals in this series. He's invisible.
He is. You know, one of my
friends
friends posted this thing. You know, you get those milk cartons. You know, have you seen? Everybody wants to know where Rick Nash is, man, because he's not scoring goals.
You know, one of the things that Steve Valaket, I think he used to be the Rangers backup goalie, he was talking about. He says he was talking about there's this area in front of the net. He says you draw a line from the goalie's crease straight forward to the face-off circle. He said that line. He said the Rangers have been unable to pass across that line the whole series. He says they scored 50 goals in the regular season of getting the puck across that line and getting it to an open player who would score. They said in this series they've only done that 9 times and haven't scored a goal on that play, but they haven't been able to do that. So the Capitals are doing something right.
Yeah, that's the same thing they did to the Islanders.
Exactly right.
They said that the night the Islanders got 11 shots, they said we're going to clog the middle, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they have those big body defensemen, and the forwards are coming back and helping out. And watch, it's almost like a box they create in there. and like Kreider goes to the front of the net, he's taking a beating. They're all taking beatings in front, and they're working together. They have a great game plan, and they're working it. And
Now,
with a hot goalie too, so.
In the game last night, they called goalie interference, and actually, you know, the game was on, but there was a band playing, so we really didn't hear what was going on. And I know Disco texted you, and you said it was an easy call to make. But the thing we wanted to understand is, isn't that usually a penalty when you have goalie interference, and why wasn't there a penalty on that one?
That is, it's sort of like an intervening action. They're both coming to the same place, and it's a minor collision. He wasn't trying to run the goalie over. He was just trying to get to his place. The goalie was trying to get to his spot. It's actually rule number 69 in the NHL rule book.
Ooh, so Rule 69. I like the sound of that.
So it still disallows the goal, but it's not a penalty.
Right, and the face-off goes outside. And that's an easy one, and especially the ref was in perfect position. He was watching the play.
You know, both sides, both Washington and the Rangers have been complaining about the refereeing letting things go. And you know, when you look at the number of power plays so far, the Rangers have had 9, Washington's had 8 in 5 games.
Okay.
You know, compared to some of the other series, do you think that the referees are just letting things go, or they're letting them play?
Well, you know what? The NHL's a mess because during the season, you look at somebody, they call a penalty. You know, anytime the stick goes parallel to the ice, they're calling a hook, they're calling holds. So now you got to grind a little, and they're letting the guys work the stick, work the body, and now everybody's complaining. So the NHL's taking their own headaches as far as I'm concerned. Either it is or it isn't. I'm all for letting them grind it out and get after each other. Like there were a couple of calls, like in center ice last night, that they missed a big one. There was a pick set by Washington on one of the Ranger defensemen. They missed that one, but then St. Louis and somebody else collided like in center ice.
Yeah, I saw that.
A penalty on that one, and I'm like, what are we doing here? What are we looking for?
All right,
the one
but-
the one they missed, that created a scoring opportunity. You're like, geez, you can't have that. That's the biggest thing I think they should look for: scoring opportunities or a body. And that's how I would do it if I was out there reffing.
All right, we're running out of time, so I want to go through the other series real quick. Your Tampa Bay Lightning looks pretty good. I don't see Montreal coming back.
Yeah, you know how you guys hate the Rangers? One of the guys on the radio up here said, I hate the Canadians more than I like the Bruins. So that goal with 1 second left, that was beautiful. And I hope tonight or tomorrow when they play that.
Yeah, they play tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did want to ask you, just getting back to the Rangers of Washington. So they coming back and winning this series? They going to win that Game 6 in Washington?
Yes.
And then they come back and win Game 7 at home?
Yes.
Wow.
Wow, okay. All right, Anaheim and Calgary. Now, Calgary looked great last night for periods of time, but then Anaheim again. They're up 3 games to 1.
They was 4-2.
Yeah, Anaheim's big and strong. Calgary's making it fun. I don't know if you watched that game last night. That was an old-time hockey game. Every face-off, they're jabbing each other. Every whistle, they're going after each other. That was a great game. Really exciting. And my boy Johnny Gaudreau from Boston College, he's the next Patrick Kane in the league. He's doing a great job.
And Minnesota went down to Chicago, and we really, a lot of us felt that Minnesota was going to go pretty far, but they're done.
Except me.
I'm one of them.
Yeah,
I thought they were,
me too.
I had them going to the finals, but Chicago, the old Chicago, woke up.
They're looking good.
They got their goaltending squared away, and they're just a solid team. They've got 4 good lines. And Kane's back. He's back ahead of schedule, and he's back to being Patrick Kane. He's scoring, and everybody's tased. They're deep. They're solid.
So we've got. So we're going to be gone for 2 weekends here. Chicago and Anaheim. Who's coming out of that? Who's going to the Stanley Cup?
I got to go with the Blackhawks.
Yeah, I have to too. They seem to have the hot hand right now.
And do we all agree? Well, I still think Washington closes it out tomorrow.
Yeah, I had Washington in that one
but
too.
I think no matter what, I still like Tampa Bay.
Yeah, Tampa Bay, I think, coming out of that conference.
I've turned. The worm has turned. I'm going with Tampa Bay now. So Tampa Bay and Chicago in the finals. When we come back, we'll find out.
Great series.
All right, Pete, good luck. Hope he gets suspended for a whole year. I mean, I hope that it's a fair penalty.
And take that blood pressure medicine,
See
okay?
you later.
All right.
All right,
Hey,
Pete, thanks a lot.
on your show.
We greatly appreciate it, man.
Take care, Pete.
All right, guys. Good job. Thanks. That was
All right,
fun.
thanks. That's our good pal, Pete Torgerson. We are almost out of time here. We're going to take a break, then we'll wrap up for the weekend. Stay with us. You're watching The Glory Days Show. Bruce and Disco, only on the Radio TV Network. We're coming right back.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRavio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRavio.com.
Transmission of lice occurs from being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Like catching a cold or a flu.
You have guaranteed peace of mind in every bottle of Got Lice because all of our products are completely natural,
And organic.
but strong enough to cover all your lice removal needs while being safe and effective. Our professional technicians are specially trained with our exclusive proven technique to successfully comb out head lice. We come right to your home at your convenience.
Whenever you want us.
We bring everything needed to perform a successful and complete comb out while eliminating your head lice. And we leave you with our exclusive complimentary products to use for the next 10 days following our treatment.
For free.
Our technicians also check all family members who have been exposed to lice. Please visit us on our website today at gotlice.co or feel free to call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 646-257-0121.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit hansoncarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered.
Hey, this is Chris Jake, and if InRavio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
Welcome back to the Glory Days Show with Bruce Disco here on the InRavio TV network. So we got a couple minutes left here. What did we learn today?
Well, we learned that sometimes we have to ad-lib because our friend Rocky was not available on the phone. You know, that was, but I think we did okay as far as that goes.
But we had a lot of, believe me, this. If you get a chance, go out there and Google the Ted Wells report and just read it. It's a pretty interesting read, and I think again, it's not evidence for a court of law. But man, the circumstantial evidence, the signs and the things that point to the fact that they absolutely have been doing this for a long time.
And I would say, yeah, we know that Peter's nervous about what's going to happen with Golden Boy Tom there, man, you know.
You know what I wonder, though?
What's that?
If they were doing this for a long period of time, how are they getting away with it? You know, this one shows the guy leaving the...
the way they got around with this is they exposed a flaw. And that's why they go into the Hall of Fame, for exposing this flaw in the chain of custody.
But in this particular situation, the guy took the balls out of the locker room, went into a bathroom and deflated them, okay? Now, according to the referee, that never happens, blah, blah, blah. So how were they getting away with it ahead of time? Was he in the locker room doing them? I mean, how? I don't know.
Well, I don't know if we'll ever find out, to tell you the truth, you know?
Well, by the time we come back, we'll at least know what the
penalty
is, you know? All righty. Thanks our producers, Kyle Melnick and Bonnie Schultz, for all their hard work and making us look so good out here. Thanks to our guest today, Pete Torgerson, both the insane and the non-insane Pete Torgerson, for helping us out today with our wall-to-wall balls coverage. And his insights on Deflategate. I think he makes some valid points, but I think he still has a bromance.
Well, he's a homer. I mean, at the end of the day, I didn't say homo. I said homer. Okay, you know.
Thanks again, Chuck and Bonnie, putting up with this nonsense week after week, and of course, thanks to you, our loyal viewers. Don't forget to check out. We have a brand new on-demand page.
I got to get there.
And. On InRavio, www.inravio.com. You can watch any of our past shows or get any of the other great shows on the InRavio.com TV network. We're going to be taking 2 weekends off here.
Wow.
In a row.
A little vacation, mini
I'm
vacation.
going out on my annual trip to the Montauk Music Festival this week.
That's always good, man.
And we always take Memorial Day weekend off.
Right.
So we'll be back with a live show on the 30th. But next week, in this here time slot, we'll replay our big game extravaganza.
The big game, okay.
You know, we had a cooking segment with my brother Tony, an in-studio appearance by Rocky Cleaver. Lots of good stuff. Have a great couple weekends, everybody. Stay safe. We'll see you next time.